How's it going, guys? Alex here. Welcome back to another Dokkan Battle video, and today I'm going to be showcasing the TEQ Beerus on my Monotech team, of course. And we're not be getting a new Beerus because the ones in the game at the moment aren't exactly the greatest by any means. Granted, the STR one is pretty damn good, and he is going to be one of the hardest hitters in the game, just because he does have that 200% attack boost from his own passive. Granted, it's a high chance, which means that it's not always going to be going off, but the majority of the time, of course, it is. But for this video in particular, I am going to be running the Wheat alongside the Beerus, just so that we can get the Godly Power link to activate, which of course is going to be the main attack link, alongside Fierce Battle when it comes to that unit in particular. And I can't remember if I said this already, but yeah, I hope you guys are having a great stay as always. And if you do enjoy today's video, consider leaving a like and subscribing if you are new. But now let's see how well he performs. And I'm actually kind of let down that Beerus didn't win, didn't win the LR. I can't even speak. The LR election, just because it would have been cool to see a new Beerus card, especially in LR form. But we are yet to see the new Beerus. Oh, not the new Beerus, the new Vegito Blue. So it's just like, I don't even know what they're doing at this point. I definitely expected to see like at least some sort of announcement for him, but there has just been no sign of that Vegito Blue, and that's one of the main things that annoys me. It's just the lack of communication, and I know that a lot of things just go through the Japanese version of the game anyway, like the Japanese side of things. That is like who the global version is controlled by. But even so, you would expect like some sort of announcement, because we legit haven't seen anything since we, found out who won the election. And at this point, you would expect to know or have a better understanding of what is going to be coming in, the next few weeks, months, because there is legit no sign of that Vegito Blue. I have been talking to a few of the guys about when he could potentially be released, Vegito Blue, of course, and the best guess that we had is that it's most likely going to come out around Christmas time, just because that's when they did a ton of special stuff in the previous years. Well, the previous 2 years, of course. And it just seems like the most likely date to drop it, because they are still in the middle of all of this 120% lead stuff. So I suppose it makes sense for them to drop it once Christmas comes around. Or maybe October, we shall see. But not looking good, basically. And I would imagine that JP is probably going to get another legendary rare before we get Vegito Blue, but I don't know, I legit don't know why they're taking so long to release him, because you'd think it's, pretty straightforward, but there has legit been no sign of him, which again is a bit of a shame. But I suppose we are going to find out in the next few months if he is going to be released anytime soon or not. Well, if we find out, then I suppose he is going to be coming out, right? But anyway, let's get into this. And it's a shame that Whis didn't awaken yet, but of course going to try to get the Beerus paired up with the Whis just to get that main link to go off. And he can stun, so I'm kind of relying on that. It's not like it matters too much anyway, because we do have a type advantage. And he didn't stun. Of course he didn't. Right, so one more turn and we should have the rotation that we want. So let's get started with this. And I don't know if this Gotenks tank is actually any good, but again, it doesn't really matter that much. Do I want to pair up LR Goku and Bardock? Not particularly. Okay. What's going to happen here then? Probably going to take him out. I'm actually kind of frustrated that my Gogeta's max and I can't even use him properly, because they still haven't released that Goku. Like, Bandai are just doing so many things wrong. Like, we haven't seen any sign of a Vegito Blue. We haven't seen any sign of a Tech Super Saiyan 3 Goku. It's just like, Bandai, what are you doing? And we do have TEQ Beerus and Whis. Awesome. First turn. Right off the bat. Which is a good sign, of course. Right. Actually, is this a good sign? I don't know, because we are going to get super attack straight away. But we haven't really seen Beerus too much in action so far. But Fierce Battle is active, and we also have the Godly Power link active now. But let's see if we can stun Frieza for at least an additional turn. Would help out a bit, at the very least. And I actually don't think anything happened there. So just under 300k. And if you saw my Beerus showcase, you will know how underwhelming that actually is. I definitely expected way more from him, especially in terms of offensive abilities. Granted, he doesn't get that much of an increase, but it's just Bandai completely butchered this card. For a Dokkan Fest, you would for a Dokkan Fest card, you would expect him to be so much better, but I don't know. I honestly am quite underwhelmed when it comes to this card in particular. I expected way more from him, and he just kind of got shafted. At the time of his release, he was actually a pretty solid unit, but overall, he just isn't that great right now. But even well, to be fair, I was about to say, even LR Goku's performing well. Of course he's performing well. He basically had a free, like, 100% attack boost. A free 100% attack boost. A free 100% card. A free 100% attack boost would have been pretty nice. But, of course, if the card was released now, it most likely would be like that. But the card is just kind of outdated. And, again, because we have no idea of what they're going to be doing with the LR, we don't know if it's going to be an awakening from the current one, or if it's going to be a brand new card. We don't know if the card could have improved at all, because if it was an awakening from the current card, I feel like that would have been extremely bad, just because the card that we have at the moment is just not that great. To be fair, if they made some small adjustments to it, it definitely could have been like a pretty solid card if the current one did awaken into the LR, but I'm not too sure. To be honest, I would just prefer to have a new one. I think it would have been much better for them to just stick with a farmable one instead, because at the very least, a lot of people can just go ahead and get an absolutely incredible unit for just the cost of a lot of your time. But even so, it's better than having to summon, and of course, this was something that involved the entire community when it came to deciding who people wanted to see next. So it would be nice for them to just make the next LR farmable, but I just don't see them doing that. For one, that would mean that Vegeta Blue would most likely have a farmable super attack, which just would be a no-go. But then again, they are making quite a lot of the units recently farmable, so they could have gone down that route. But let's try to get a Dokkan mode. Right, let's avoid the super attack with Whis here and go for the Dokkan mode of Beerus. But to be honest, I am kind of disappointed if you compare the STR one and the Tech one. Like, despite the the STR one not being a Dokkan Fest, he is honestly so much better than the Tech type, just because he just provides so much more offensively. He fits much better in his team. He just does a lot of things so much better than his Tech type counterpart, and it's a shame because, again, you would expect that for a card released way later, and of course, being a Dokkan Fest, you would expect him to be providing way more. And even upon his release, he did have his time, like, where he was a pretty solid unit, but overall he just didn't really provide too much in comparison to some of the other units. Right, let's go ahead and grab these LR Goku though. I'm actually glad they made LR Goku like a free 100% unit essentially. Granted, I don't think anything like that is ever going to happen for LR Goku again. They may do it with LR Frieza in the future, that definitely would be cool to see. But when it comes to LR Goku, I think that was probably your one and only chance of basically making him optimal forever, especially if you have the Bardock. And to be honest, that was the main reason why I went ahead and got my Bardock to 100% in the potential system. I've said this multiple times. It's just because of the fact that LR Goku is essentially optimal once you have the LR Goku and Super Saiyan Bardock combo, and just making both of them 100% basically solidifies that. Right, let's see if we can stun him here, because I don't think Whis is stunned much. And actually, one thing that I do need to try out is how much of a loss does Beerus like actually have to his attack when you take away that godly power link. So I'm going to try that out and then just go from there. So far, I think they are somewhat solid together. They don't really provide too much offensively, which is a shame because you would expect that from a God of Destruction. But again, when it comes to Dokkan, they don't really focus on making the right characters powerful, I suppose, because we still haven't seen like an absolutely insane Super Saiyan Blue. Granted, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken and Super Saiyan Blue Goku are both incredible units, but they aren't leads or anything. They are just sub units. So definitely, probably, I don't know. Am I right in saying that we are probably going to see a Super Saiyan Blue Goku Dokkan Fest? Because you haven't had one. I mean, I guess you can count Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, but so the Godly Power Link isn't active here. But we have had a Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Dokkan event, but he wasn't actually a lead. And you have Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta as well, but again, he wasn't really a lead because he had that demigod leader skill. He just didn't provide ki, and that leader skill wasn't exactly a very good way to use the team. So we are definitely going to see a Limit Breaker Goku. Of course, that's not the name of the actual form, but I definitely think we are going to see a Limit Breaker Goku lead eventually, but not Super Saiyan Blue. Because I definitely think like Super Saiyan Blue is just thrown around way too much, because you have like so many pointless cards. For example, you have the physical Super Saiyan Blue Goku and attack Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta from the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 arc, and it's just like they played around way too much with the Super Saiyan Blues. Instead of just making them like super exclusive, they just went ahead and like kind of threw them out there, which is a bit of a shame because it's supposed to be like the most powerful form when it comes to Saiyans at the moment. Instead, they're just like, yeah, everyone just have a Super Saiyan Blue card despite it not being that great. But I think I've pretty much gone over everything when it comes to the Beerus. He has his downsides. I definitely don't think he compares to the STR one in many ways. Like, he's inferior when it comes to offensive abilities. He's inferior when it comes to just being good on his particular team. There are just so many, like, downsides about him. And the fact that his Fury mode can only activate once, it's just like, yeah, it's not that great. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video as always. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one.